Okay, I decided to stop by to let you see what I use to make such a big difference in my hair. Right now, I've taken the time to unplait all of the plaits that I had during the week. And so it's not as moisturized as it normally would be because I actually dyed my hair, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later, and use just regular conditioning products to air dry it while I plaited it. And so again, it's not as moisturized. So to get it in the state that I like it to be, I wanted to share one of the little secrets that I have for that. And it's one of the best secrets ever that I could ever attribute my hair success to. And I apologize for looking an absolute wreck, but things are going to get so much better. But it will start with me taking this aloe plant that I got from the grocery store, and it needs to have a few things happen to it before you can actually use it to be the miracle product for your hair that it is. And one of the things will involve washing it off, just with some cool water, making sure that all of it's rinsed off nice and thoroughly, and then get some paper towel, dry it off. And then I'll take a knife and cut off these little prickly edges that you see here on each side with a knife, and then cut like this bottom piece off. You can still use it, but I cut that off and then cut this into like maybe 1, 2, 3 sections or whatever. And then I'm going to scoop all of the little gooey gel-like whatever that's in it. I call it goop, and put it into a strainer and let it drain. To get all of the product to seep through, and then that's what I'm going to use to put on the sections of the plaits that I'm going to redo. And so, like this section here, I would just like cut it off and then like maybe do a slit down halfway lengthwise, and then just cut it up into pieces. You can get some of the bad spots off if you'd like. And that's what I'm going to actually put into a saucepan with a little olive oil, maybe a little avocado oil, whatever oils that you actually like that you'll want to put on your scalp. And then let these like simmer, the cut up pieces, let them simmer in the oil for like about 10 minutes or so. And I'm not showing you because these are all things that you can find out on YouTube with people who do it a lot better than I do, but I just wanted to tell you what I start with. So I'm gonna go take care of that, and then I'll come back when I actually have some aloe goop, and then I can show you how I plait my hair and how you should too. And I see that I have this product here, Paul Mitchell's Awapuhi Moisture Mist. Before you put the aloe on, you'll want to, spritz your hair. Any kind of moisturizing product, it does not work well for black hair. Typical, like maybe 4C or even 4B black hair, unless you put some sort of water product on it to get it to be in a state where it can receive additional moisture. I'll give you more on that after I come back. But for right now, I have probably about 20 minutes worth of work in order to get this into something to show you. So I'll be back. Okay, this is how I get started with the miracle product that I use on my hair, and you can find it in your local grocery store. It's an aloe plant, and sometimes they might be a little beaten up, but you can cut off the bad pieces. And so I start off by cutting the bottom portion, and you can find better videos on YouTube that'll show you how to do this. Later on I'm going to scoop what's in here as well, but for the most part, I forgot, you need to start by cutting these little pointy edges off. I've already washed it and dried it with a paper towel, but just get the things that can normally cut you if you're not careful. And I know my hair looks a sight, but I've taken the time to unplait it, and then I've twisted the individual plaits and pull them up with bobby pins, which is why I look an absolute wreck. But this is a Sunday afternoon. You have food on the stove cooking. I've been washing clothes, folding up clothes, doing all sorts of neat things around the house. And so this is how you kind of want to, pick a day that you'll do this type of activity when you have some leisure time and you want to indulge in some luxury. So I'm not going to do the whole thing, but just wanted to let you see, how I get started. And I just cut it into like 1, 2. This is where I'll get the goop from the aloe plant out. So 3 big pieces, maybe 4. And then I save the top part for what I'm going to put into a saucepan with a little olive oil, a little avocado, and some sweet almond oil. And these are going to be the oils that I use to oil my scalp. You can put a little peppermint oil in it as well, a little rosemary or cedar wood, things that you think might add to the health of your scalp. And I think those are all wonderful things for improving the circulation, helping your follicles rejuvenate or whatever. Or you could use some of Mielle's, what is it called? I'll show that at a later time when I talk about scalp health. But there's a product that you can get for your scalp, and it's supposed to stimulate your follicles. Do I have any proof that it does that? No. But you do want to oil your scalp, whenever it seems to need it. And I always do it when I'm going to replait my hair. And then if you notice that these were cut like in a way that's horizontal, but then you're going to, slice it like this. And then this is where you'll take your spoon, or whatever product you want to use. Just be really careful with knives because this is very slimy. And so just to do one, and then I'll go away and come back, you'll want to put it in a strainer so that all of the goop will drain through. And that's what I'm going to use on the individual plaits to replait my hair and to get it in the nice moisturized state that you'll see in some of the pictures where it looks like it has a lot of definition. But and then sometimes when I'm finished, I'll even take the actual part of the aloe plant and I'll rub that on a strand if I'm running low. But just anything that is like slick or slippery from the aloe plant, it's all good stuff. So just to give you an idea of how I get started. And then, like I said, I'll take the top part. I can even rub some on right now, right? And just put it in the scalp or back of my kitchen. As some of us would normally say, it's great for your skin. You might want to try to see if the aloe plant is irritating to your skin. It could be to some, I really don't know. But if you're concerned in any way, check with your dermatologist or do like a sample test to see how it works on you before you put it all over your hair and scalp. But for this part, I would cut this, down the middle and then cut it into little, pieces and then put that in a saucepan with the oils that I mentioned and let it simmer for about 10 minutes while you're, scooping out the goop into a thing to drain it with. And so, or to strain it with, and then it'll drain and you'll have some, you won't have a lot. You might have like maybe, not even an inch at the bottom, but that'll be enough for you to put it on the individual sections that you want to use it on. But that's all I have for now. So I'll be back with the rest in just a second. Okay, I'm back and here, are the remnants of what I started with that aloe plant. And here is the good stuff. This goop is golden. Trust me, this is better than any hair care product you could find in a store. And my hair tangles easily. It's very dry no matter how many supplements or water I drink. And it's, sometimes I want to say it's 4Z hair because it's very hard to manage. This has been a game changer. And so what I'm going to do is go find the raggediest towel I can find because I don't want this to mess up my bathrobe or my workout top, in case you guys were wondering what I'm wearing. So I'll be back after I do that and I'll do one of the sections, and because it's been plaited for a couple of weeks, I'm gonna need to spend some gentle handling time with it. Okay, I finished with the aloe plant and I went through every one of the pieces that I had cut lengthwise and got all of the goop out. And so Now this is what you have. I mentioned the strainer that I put the contents that I scooped out from the aloe plant, and so it's going to take, you know, a few minutes at least for all of this to, I don't know if you can see that, if all of the liquid can go through the strainer into this bowl. And I can keep anything that I have left over for, I think, at least a week in the refrigerator. I'm not sure, because my hair is pretty thick. I wind up using all of it almost all of the time. But what I wanted to do is, while I had a chance, was maybe, you know, show you how I do one of the particular plats, and then I'll come back when I'm, for the most part, done. And because this can, this goop can stain your clothes, and this is one of my favorite workout tops, I went to grab a raggedy towel, a towel you don't care about, that you're not going to bring out for guests or whatever, and then you'll just put that around your clothes. And then what I like to do, in order for moisture to be absorbed into your hair, some sort of water product needs to be on it. And so I use, and you don't have to use this one, but I use Paul Mitchell's Awapuhi Moisture Mist. And I've been using this for years when my hair was relaxed and when it was straight. But you'll want the shaft of your hair to be as coated as you can get it. Okay, so I think that's about good. And I didn't think about the fact that I don't normally just sit around spraying my hair without moving around and stuff. But I think this is pretty wet. And then what you're going to do, you want it, like I said, have it nice and, you know, moisturized first with a little liquid. You can use regular water or, you know, purified water or whatever, distilled water, whatever you want to use. I really don't care. It just needs to be water-based. And this has some other good stuff added into it. And I've had good success with it. So I'm going to spray one more time, because my hair is very tangly, and one of the ways that you get significant length over time is that you're gentle with your hair. You have to keep it moisturized, but you also have to be very gentle when you're detangling it. So right now, and I don't know how I'm going to do this with this strainer here, but I think what I'll do is I'll just pull some of it from the bottom, and then, you know, just get it into my hands. And I don't know if you can see this, but like, see how liquid it is? Almost like egg white. So you get a little bit of it, and then put it in your hands. Oh my goodness, it's so thick. I've never done this on camera, other than maybe once before, and I don't think it was this thick. But like, look at all of that in my hands. And so I'm going to put this onto this section. And I have my hair parted in two sections, this thickness in the back. And see how wet that is? You can see it, but I'm not looking because I want to let you see it. And I'm trying not to get it onto my red robe or my workout outfit. But anyway, this is about how thick I want it to be. And I rub it, you know, just so that it gets all the way, you know, into the hair shaft and to all pieces of this section, so that they'll be coated. And you also want it to be in your kitchen as well, because this tends to be the driest section of my hair, like in the back. So anyway, I think that's pretty good. And what we'll do with that is we'll get a wide tooth comb. And like I said, the secret to growing your hair longer is you don't want to do this when you're in a rush. You don't want to do this when you're short on time. You want to do it where you can gingerly and, you know, leisurely go through your hair, starting at the bottom and then working your way up. You don't want to be rough. You don't want to wind up breaking sections. That's how a lot of times Black women, we don't wind up with longer hair, because we think, because our hair is so coarse, that that it could stand a lot of abuse. But the kinkier your hair is, the easier it breaks, and the harder it is a lot of times for us to acquire length. So that's been, for me, you know, who's 58, in order for me to get my hair to grow this long and this thick over the last few years, it has required me to be very, very gentle with my hair. I think I need a little bit more But again, using this towel, and you see, because I haven't combed through it for the last 2 weeks that I've had it plaited, that's another thing. I'm letting it rest and, giving it some time where you're not always doing something to it. And, as weeks go on, I'm going to show you guys different things that I do in order to give my hair a break. So gentle handling, using products that help detangle, but also leaving your hair the heck alone for a while, definitely helps. And you see, I'm not afraid to use a lot of this aloe because from what I've experienced, I can't speak for you, but for me, it's done nothing but good for my hair. So I'm not afraid to use as much as you see me using. And that's why you see also that, as I was saying, that I usually don't have a lot left. So I'm going to try to finish combing through this. And then there's one more step. And you want it to be, you don't want to leave your hair plaited where you haven't fully detangled it. So that's why I'm taking my time and, making sure that all of the aloe is coating it. And then I'm going to put some on my roots too, because I want to be able to comb it from, the root all the way down to the end. But you need to be patient and, take your time. And so I'm going to add just a little more aloe. And if at any point you see that, it's not wet enough, feel free, there's some extra hair there, feel free to, to add a little more spray to it. I don't like to smell anything. Okay, so, shooty poot. I forgot to put the towel back on. So I'm going to add a little more aloe because I want to do that final comb through. And it's still draining. And so while I watch television or whatever, upstairs while my dinner cooks, I'm going to do the rest of this. But I'm not going to bore you with the details. And then I'll come back as I'm almost finished. Oh yeah, that feels wonderful. It's just so slimy. It feels like okra almost. And my local grocery stores, they carry aloe plants. You may have to go to, a more niche grocery store if you can't find it at yours. But it's definitely something that you will want to try if you've never done it. And then you're going to see different times when I have my hair fully out, the curl definition that I'm able to achieve because I don't have curl definition on my own. Oh my goodness, and it's kind of tangled at the root. And so that's my other problem. And the reason my hair growing this length is such a miracle is because even after I detangle sections, they start retangling. That's one of the beauties of keeping it plaited for me, is it keeps it from tangling. You see I'm already sweating just from this effort, but look at the result. I mean, at 58, for my hair was never this long when I was a little kid. I mean, and so it's a blessing. And so the hair that, was there because I haven't combed it over the last 2 weeks, obviously that's going to shed and, and come out, but that's normal. And then when I go upstairs too, I can just get the scissors and just, give it a little trim or whatever. But right now, this is the moisturizing process that I go through. I'm going to add a little bit more just to be safe and make sure that it's nicely moisturized because it's going to stay plaited for at least 2 weeks. Okay, let's do it one more time. You see how my hair is retangled? So I'm just being patient, but I want you to see the next step. I want you to see the next step. Oh my goodness, just the work of it all, but you can't rush it. You can't rush it. And just because you're sweating, doesn't mean that you stop or that you, don't fully hydrate it. So I think everything is hydrated. Then the next step is, it doesn't show it, but it's Qhemet Biologics Aethiopika. It's a hydrate. I didn't even realize that it's all covered up, but it's a hydrate and twist butter that you can get from, at one point I got it from Ulta, I thought, but you can buy it from Qhemet, and it's Qhemet Biologics website. And so what I do is I take a little bit of the butter, like that, and then, rub it in between my hands in order for it to melt. And then I put that on top of the aloe. See, it's already melted. Make sure you get the ends. Make sure you get the ends. And then, and of course, my other hair is trying to mix in with it. I'll put the towel down for just a second. But yeah, maybe I'll get even a little bit more of the Aethiopika in order for it to make sure it's at the root too. Okay, and then like I said, rub it with your hand, and then see, it's starting to melt, and like I try to get it on the root too. And then what I need to do next is go get that oil from the saucepan and put it into a little bottle and add some peppermint as well as a little rosemary to it. But also, in the interest of time, and also I would like section, these little parts and put some oil in here. But in the interest of time, we could use, because I use this a lot. I don't know why the camera did that. Okay, but anyway, we could use a product called Mielle or Mielle. It's rosemary, mint, scalp, and hair strengthening oil, which is infused with biotin and encourages growth. It says for daily use, scalp treatment, split in care. And so, but in the interest of time, I will do it with this. And a lot of times I just pour a little bit in my hand, and you can put it in that part back there. And then, or you could just put a little of the aloe on it if you want to. And just maybe massage it in your scalp, and then just start plaiting it. But I do like to put that aloe on there. So what I'm going to do is I'll come back with that and show you this. But in the meantime, I'm just going to give it one more comb through, and then I'm going to twist it and go grab the aloe oil and show you what that looks like. And so again, going slowly, using a detangling comb here to just try to make sure, because you don't want to leave your hair in a tangled state for a period of weeks, because then when you take it out, it'll be dry and tangled, and you run the risk of losing hair, and you don't want that. So for right now, what we're going to do with this nicely moisturized, hair pulled out that needed to be removed and not plaited with the moisturized hair. Look at that, see? Oh my goodness. And I'm going to twist it, and then I'll be back with the oil in just a second. So you could do it like that. You can twist it, you could do a 2-strand twist, or you can actually do some sort of knotting if you want to. But for right now, I'm just going to do it like that. And then I will be back when I have some aloe, and I'll plait it with you guys. Be right back.